Hey there guys, this is Ryan, here to bring you yet another commentary. And we start this commentary, as all good ones start, with completely weird hit registration on that headshot there. But it's alright, we make up for it very quickly and very well. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most important factors of aiming that I've spoken about in the past, but I've never really touched on exactly the tactics on how to do it. And that is leading people and aiming with the leading, you know? Because there are two different types of hit detection in this game with the two different types of weapons that you use. First you got projectile weapons like the one I'm using right now, the soldier's rocket launcher. That also includes the huntsman, the syringe gun, demo man's weapons, all that stuff. And then you have the hit scan weapons such as scout scattergun, heavy's miniguns, sniper's sniper rifle. And let me explain to you how the game handles these really quickly. So, when you fire a shot from a hit scan, it draws an infinite line until the end of whatever. It has to hit something in the map or an object before it'll stop drawing that line. Whatever that line hits, if it's a player, it'll register damage. And don't ask me how I knew that guy was coming to the corner. I did not know. It was just a lucky shot. Anyways. And the way that the hit scan is registered, it's registered client side, which is why you'll get sometimes, I was behind cover, how did he headshot me? On his side, his model was compensated for being a little bit behind that, so when he shot your model, it ended up hurting you anyways. And the way hit scan uses hitboxes is it uses special hit scan hitboxes. And so, you don't really have to lead targets per se when you're using hit scan. However, it's always nice to, because the general human brain activity is when someone starts moving in a new direction, they're probably going to be moving in that direction for at least a second. So if you use that to your advantage, line up your shot with your strafe and only shoot when they come across the crosshair instead of firing at the fastest interval, as a lot of people do, you'll end up landing many more shots that way. You'll see many times when I'm using my shotgun, I will wait after missing a few shots for the crosshair to line up with them. Anyways, on to projectile weapons. Projectile weapons use a vastly different type of hit registration. When you shoot a rocket, it's this gigantic rectangle that's moving through the world. And when you shoot it, it's created based on where you are in the world. However, what you're doing at the moment does not affect anything this rocket has to do. The only thing you can do about it is when you shoot it and where you aim it. Everything else is determined server side, which is why when you have high ping, you'll sometimes see your rockets come out really weirdly disjointed and disconnected, which makes it very hard to actually aim the rockets. Because you can like move a couple of feet and the rocket will come out behind where you were. But when this rocket moves to the world, it actually uses a different type of hitbox to determine hit registration. These are actually much bigger hitboxes than normal, which is why it's a little bit easier to hit with rockets than you might think. The importance of leading targets with these, however, is that you think about rockets, they're going to take a while to get to their destination. So a lot of times you actually have to not be aiming at your target whatsoever in order to get direct hits, as you've seen me doing for the little past bit here. And not only that, the rocket launcher actually makes rockets come out of the right side of your screens a little bit. Which is why I'm able to get these rocket jumps off from the right side of my screen here. You sort of have to master how that is. The only exception to this rule is when you have the original equipped, which is the Quake launcher. Just as the model might suggest, those rockets come out of the exact middle of your screen, which has its advantages and disadvantages. It makes rocket jumping a little bit weirder, in my opinion, but it also makes it so that you don't have a disadvantage trying to peek around a left side corner. But it also gets rid of your advantage peeking around right side corners with this rocket launcher. As you see, I wait here for him to line up into my shot, and then I shoot. The importance of leading targets is also what makes it so that air shots are possible. Because an air shot is basically your brain immediately figuring out the trajectory someone is taking, and then using that and twitching in that direction and shooting where they're going to be in a few seconds. Damn you, Spy! So when you do leading, you have to compensate for ping first off, especially with projectile weapons. If you have 100-some ping, you have to do an extra half a second of correction on that, which can turn out to be very confusing if you're jumping around from server to server, always having to correct how much you have to take. But if you can master how much correction and leading you have to do, you can get direct hits that do up to 100 damage each, and that is massive damage, my friend. I'm going to be smart here, wait for a second for the flare to pass by so it doesn't crit kill me, and live through that. The rest of the match isn't much, it's just me sitting by dispenser. And this commentary wasn't that long, but I just wanted to touch on a few types of hit registration and how important leading targets and leading them into your crosshairs, instead of shooting at the fastest interval that your gun can shoot. In fact, Sniper pretty much relies on that a lot of the time. Hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. I will be back for more at some point if I ever think of another thing to touch upon. I hope you all have a very fine day, and I will see you later.